reflected everything he saw in the society. And he was singing satire. Democracy, democracy, crazy demo. So these are the things. What you see in the society is what you write about. Maybe you want to criticize something in the society. You can use any genre of literature to criticize, to inform. Literature is to inform, is to criticize. Literature is to entertain. Are you listening to me? So that's what we use creative writing to do. To document history. That's why you say literature is an historical document. To mirror your environment. So that's what we do. So if you are not somebody that can reflect the environment very well, it starts from even when you say, maybe your teacher says, write an essay on a traditional marriage in my area. If you are not somebody that is in tune with Yoruba culture, you will not be able to write about traditional marriage in Yoruba land. Yes or no? Yes or no? Ibẹ̀ ni alága ìdúró wà, ibẹ̀ ni alága gbogbo oríṣiríṣi dowry. The way they collect their dowry in Yoruba land is different from the way they collect their dowry in Igbo land. It's different from the way Hausa marriage will be organized. Yes or no? So you must, anytime ẹ ò bá balẹ̀, kò lè kọ nǹkan o. Tó bá kọ nǹkan, rubbish ló máa kọ. You must be able to reflect on your environments. Some of you now, you don't know the history of Nigeria. And Nigeria is looking for those that will document history. What we are doing today, the experience we have today now under democracy is different from the experience we have during the military rule. The experience we will have in the next 50 years is different from the experience we are having now. So if you are not somebody that follows trends, you must be able, don't think you are too young. No, you are not too young. I believe by the special grace of God, I'm talking to the next Nobel laureate. I believe the next Nobel laureate is here. So you must be able to follow trend in the society. Trend, issues. That's what we bring to writing. Before we're talking about creative writing. Trends. You must be able to describe in a vivid way the society. That's why the power of language is very important. We can't be talking about creative writing without talking about lexis, usage of words, and semantics. Semantics means the meaning implication of what you are saying. So if you don't have all this knowledge, you cannot be a good writer. The meaning implication. Every word has what we call semantic import. It carries the weight. There is a way you use language in a way that it will carry weight. Creative writing thrives on the usage of figures of speech. Figures of speech. You must be able to document using figures of speech. To carry out your emotion. To thrive on the emotion of the person that is reading. That the person will feel what you feel. Literature is about invoking and evoking meaning. It's about invoking and evoking meaning. People must be able to read meaning. They must be able to reason along with you. They must be able to interpret you. They must be able to think the way you think or think outside the box. It all depends on the way you use language. Even without saying a star, with that nursery rhyme, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Wait, listen and listen good. I want you to recite that poem with me. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Now, let me do the analysis of that poem for you. Twinkle, twinkle. When you say something is twinkling, it means it is shining. Yes or no? In other words, if you don't know the meaning of twinkle, you will not be able to describe star very well. Little star. If you don't know the meaning of little, you will not be able to describe the infinitesimal, the minute quality, the minute. Hence, the write-up will be wishy-washy. Are you listening to me? Hence, the write-up will not really make sense. Because those are the things you use to bring value to what you are saying. Because literature thrives on the use of language. Literature at times is an elevated creative writing at times, most times. Make sure you are listening. Make sure you are documenting. I really value your proprietor. I want you to give him a hand of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I pray God will honor you too in Jesus' name. Seriously, not all proprietors are interested. Yes. This is what we call raising total quality children. Raising total quality future leaders. Yes. Don't say because I'm a science student, I cannot do creative writing. No. You can be a medical doctor and write novel. You can be an engineer and write play. Doesn't disturb anybody. And if your play, your novel is rich. I said, writing is inborn. It's latent. And you can become a writer by virtue of training too. And by virtue, even if you have the knowledge, even if you have the talent still requires training to become a more polished writer. Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart was published over 200 languages. Saying somebody does not have money, yeah. If you have something to offer, you will have money. Content writers make money in dollars and pounds. Writers thrive on their words, intellect to make a lot of money. So if you can write in a better way, you can be so sure of earning in a better way. You can be a nurse and write. So if you don't have the knowledge of rhetorical question, that writer will not be able to say, how I wonder what you are. Hence, when he used that, how I wonder what you are, he's trying to carry you along as the reader. He wants you to fill in the gap. It's a skill. To somebody who is just reading the poem, who doesn't have knowledge of literature, you just think the writer is just saying anything. You don't say anything when we are talking about creative writer. You write and say whatever you are saying in a skillful way. It's always a skillful activity. It's a skillful activity. How I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high. It's telling us that the star is not beneath. Yes or no? Up above, far above, the word so high. Adverb of degree. Adverb of what? So, it's telling us to what extent. So, if you are somebody that will be a good creative writer, you must be able to be imaginative. You must be able to be reflective. Then you must have language. Language is the tool. Is the tool to write. Is the tool. Creative writing thrives on the powerful use of language. Are you listening to me? Even our Baba wa láyé àtijọ́ too. By the time they are saying Ijalari Ode, this, that, Alo Apamo, riddles, jokes. That's other form of literature that can also be documented. They are using language in a creative way. They are using language in a creative way. So if you will be a very good writer, you have to look at different writers. Read their books. Wole Soyinka is a great writer. Read his book. Chinua Achebe is a great writer. Read his book. Belchie Emecheta is a great writer. Read her book. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie is a great writer. Read her books. Then don't throw your culture away. Don't do what? Don't throw your culture away. Don't say because I want to learn to write in English. We are also looking for young Yoruba writers that are very wonderful. Books of Baba G.O. Fagunwa. Many of you now, you cannot read Yoruba very well. I can read Yoruba very fluently. Raise up your hand. That's very good. Put down your hand. Don't throw your language away. Are you listening to me? You can be a creative writer in English. You can be a creative writer in Yoruba. In the global market, the whites, they spend a lot of money to learn Yoruba language. It could be Yoruba language that will take you abroad. You don't know. When you get to anywhere, maybe the whatever, and you tell them, I want to teach people how to write in Yoruba, you will have easy access. Are you listening to me? So you can get yourself well garnished by reading books of J.O. Fagunwa, Ireke Onibudo, Ogboju Ode ninu Igbo Erunmole, Igbo Olodumare, Tijapa Tiroko, Oko Yanrinbo. Are you listening to me? Ara orun o, ara orun, inamba tere, kun tere, inamba. All those type of things. You can't be saying you are writing in a creative way and not reflect culture. You are writing Yoruba book, you are not reflecting our culture. You are not writing. Are you listening to me? Do you get what I'm saying? If you are writing Igbo book, you must reflect the culture there. It must be language, literature, and culture. They are like twins. They are fused. Are you listening to me? Many of you now, you don't know your culture. You can't be a good writer. Because there is a way the language of the writer, the diction, will reflect his culture. Whether you like it or not. Are you listening to me? So many of you now, you have fathers, you have older generation who can tell you riddles. Do you get what I'm saying? Who can tell you jokes, who can tell you stories. Make sure you learn those stories very well. Read folk tales, read stories. By the time you are doing all these things, you are on your pathway to becoming a better creative writer. Do you get what I'm saying? There are some people that they will write book. Their book will just be on the table because it does not have the fundamentals. It does not have the fundamentals. The basic things that writing needs to be embellished with. If you want to write and you want your book to win awards, you want your book to be recommended for as literature tests, for WAEC, for NECO, for exams, you want to get good money from your intellectual property, you need to get your books well garnished, thriving so much on the qualities. Then when you talk about creative writing, it's a way to create, it's a way to contribute to your own world. You will be so happy that this is my work. You'll be so happy. By the time you see a biography you have written, the story of a community you have written, you'll be so happy. By the time you see a play that you have written, even a poem, if you don't have know the language of poem, it will be very difficult for you to write. If you want to be writing poem as if you are writing a prose, it will be very difficult for you to abide with the rules and regulations of writing a poem. The genres of literature, they have their languages. Genres of literature. What are the genres of literature? What are the genres of literature? Poetry, very good. Poetry is also poem, yes. Another person, genres of literature. Prose, right? And drama. That's very good of you. We have 3 genres of literature, 3 aspects of literature. Drama, poetry, and what? And prose. They all have their languages. Are you listening to me? They all have their forms. If you want to write poem now, am I writing a quatrain? Quatrain is a poem of 4 lines. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. That is a quatrain. Ibadan is a poem too. It's a quatrain. It's a 4-line poem. We have what we call sonnets. Shakespearean sonnets and Italian sonnets. Sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. That is the form of poetry. We have what we call epic. Epic is a long narrative poem talking about heroic people. Maybe you want to write a poem about Ogedengbe, Agbogun, Boro, or you want to write a poem on Moremi. These are historic people. These are legends. The way you write it, you will be writing epic. It will be a long narrative, and it must be full of powerful images, thriving on the information you already know about these people. Another thing that will help you if you want to be a very good writer in recent time is to follow the works of great people. Follow documentaries, histories of communities. Many of you now, you are from Ilesha, but you don't know the story of Ilesha. You cannot be able to write about Ilesha. You cannot be able to write about a poem on Ilesha. You cannot be able to write a play on Ilesha because you don't know the history. You don't know the culture. You don't know the meaning of Owa. You don't know the meaning of Enito Buokun. You don't know all these things. Obori, Elemosho, Enito Beori, Elemosho. You must be able to know the story of your people, the history. You don't know the Yoruba. Yoruba, we are from Ile-Ife. How do you want to write literature about us? You must value history. You must value culture. You have older ones. Some of you still have your grandfathers, your grandmothers that are telling you a lot of stories, a lot of things. You must value these things very well. Don't throw them away. Then in recent time, the power of the media is very important. At times, you have some programs. These are the things I do. You have some programs that are very rich in culture, on radio, on television, Maso Imbo, all these things. A lot of programs that has to do with culture. You must make sure that you value them a lot in order to know the culture of your people. So if you know the culture, you will be able to write. People who don't know their culture, you will not be able to write. People who don't know their history, you will not be able to document them using literature. Because literature is an historical document. Literature is an historical document. And according to Fafunwa, it says, history is to people what memory is to them. People without history are victims of collective amnesia. If we want a better society, we must document it in literature. What we are experiencing in Nigeria today is history. In the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, the history of coronavirus, it has become history. It's happened in which year? Coronavirus happened in which year? So it's already becoming history. COVID-19 is already history. So if you want to write about something, maybe a poem on coronavirus now, if you don't belong to that period, you will not be able to write. There is always periodization in literature. There is a period we call Stone Age. There is a period we call Medieval Age. There is a period we call Elizabethan Age. There is a period we call Modern Literature. Today now, we are talking about modern literature. And there are characteristics of a modern man. Today now, we'll be talking about AI. It's part of modern literature. We'll be talking about technology. We want to write about technology. Are you listening to me? So period has to talk about history. History. You must follow history. These are the very important things you have to know if you want to be a writer. You must understand the form. There is a poem you call ode. Maybe you want to write a poem to praise your proprietor now, or your teacher, or your mother. You will be writing what we call ode. O-D-E. A poem in praise of a person is called ode. Are you listening to me? And when you talk about the genres of literature, there are languages attributed to them. Hello, please. I want you to be very attentive. The language of poetry is short, is brief, is abridged, is laconic, is short, is brief. Is short, is brief. Some of you are not writing. On this side, they are writing. That's very good. According to Oswald J. Sanders, writing makes an exact man. What you read, you can forget at times. But what you write, you can never forget. The language of writing is condensed. It's coagulated. One can lo ọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀ nínú poetry. That's why that 4-line poem that you recited the other time captures exactly what Little Star is all about. What has been written about the Little Star can be documented in a novel. It can be documented in a novella. It can be documented in a novel of even 100 pages. But then, anytime you are writing poetry, you must make sure that poets are economical with words. Poets are economical with words. They don't use words so much. We don't use long and winding sentences when you are writing poetry. The language of poetry is laconic. Everybody say laconicity. Short expression. Are you listening to me? The language of poetry is imagistic. The language of poetry is what? Imagistic. When you say imagery, it's the creation of mental picture. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. You can imagine it. How little it is. Because of the powerful image. Twinkle, twinkle. That's what we call visual image. Visual. Visual. There is a type of image that appeals to your sense of sight. That is visual image. There is a type of imagery that appeals to your sense of hearing. That is auditory image. That is a type of image that appeals to your sense of taste. That is gustatory image. There is a way you will describe porridge and you will be salivating. That is the use of gustatory image. So poets and writers, they thrive on imagery. You must be able to pack your ideas in words. In words. In words. For example, now, even the Bible, listen and listen good. If you are a lazy reader, you cannot be a creative writer. Listen and listen good. I believe I'm not wasting your time. I want to believe I'm not wasting your time. If you are a lazy reader, forget about being able to write. It's not possible. Even the Bible, listen and listen good. Even the Bible thrives so much on images. Only ìjọba ọ̀run ó dàbí ìyàwó tí a ṣe lọ́ṣọ̀ọ́ fún ọkọ ẹ̀. That is imagery. Bí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ yín tilẹ̀ rọ ẹ̀dòdò bí àlárì. That is imagery. Ẹ̀ funfun bí ẹ̀gbọ̀n òwú. Ẹ̀gbọ̀n òwú is talking about you will be white as snow. That is use of imagery. Are you listening to me? So if you cannot be if you cannot be able to use language in a creative way through imagery, you will not be able to be a good poet. You want to talk about deception, you can package whatever you want to say in tortoise. Tortoise is an animal that is a deceiver. Yes or no? You want to talk about deception too, you can package it into a snake. That's why in the book of Genesis 3:3, the Bible says the snake is as what? As is more subtle than other type of animal. Nínú Yorùbá version, wọ́n ní kíyèsí ejò ṣáà ṣe àrékérekè ju ẹranko ìgbẹ́ yòókù lọ. So in other words, by the time you are writing a poem and you package deception in snake, people understand. Experts understand. By the time you want to talk about destruction, and you are, which insect is destructive? Which insect is destructive? Termite. Yes or no? By the time you package destruction in termite, which animal devours or is brave? You want to package somebody that is brave. You say Solomon is as brave. You say Samson is as brave as a lion. We understand. You are not using language in an ordinary way. You are using language in an esoteric way, in a strange way. It's embellished. The language of literature, the language of creative writing is embellished. It's well garnished. We use decorated language. You don't use language like an ordinary person. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? If you are following me, say hi. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I don't want this seminar to be a waste. I want you to leave an indelible footprint in your life journey. And I want it to be what we stir up your consciousness to begin to write. Everything we see in the society. There are many books unwritten. Hello, listen and listen good. There are many books unwritten. Because people cannot thrive on their imaginative ability. It's a creative thing. It's a creative potential. The language of poetry is musical. Listen and listen good. The language of poetry is musical. Poetry is like a music. That's why I don't twinkle, twinkle, little star to a music. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. You can easily turn that poem to music. Are you listening to me? In other words, the language of poetry is musical. The language of poetry is musical. who sat and watched my infant head when sleeping on my cradle bed, when tears of sweet affection share my. Listen and listen good. The language of poetry is musical. Are you listening to me? Poetry is meant to be chanted. And you must know that whenever you are writing poem, the form and the formation of poetry is that it is written in lines and stanzas. Poetry is written in lines and stanzas. You can't just be writing like an illiterate. There is a template. There are irrefutable principles of writing that you must abide by. Whether you are a science person, you are an art person, you are a commercial person, you want to dive into writing, you are welcome. We welcome you into the humanities, contributing meaningfully to the humanities. We welcome you. But in as much as you can follow the structure and the template, we don't have any problem with you. Are you listening to me? There is always a template. You must follow that template. Quatrain, sonnets, use of end rhymes. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. That is A. How I wonder what you had. That is A. Up above there was so I. That is I. Like a diamond in the sky. That is I. That is A, B, B. End rhyme. It makes your poem to be musical. So you must use end rhymes. Words that sound the same way, they are called rhymes. Words that sound the same way, they are called what? They are called rhymes. R-H-Y-M-E-S. Rhymes. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Ah. How I wonder what you have. Ah. Up above there was so high. High, like a diamond in the sky. High. That writer is playing with words. You are using words in a creative way. You are using word in an esoteric way. You are using word in a strange way. You are using word to depict a lot of connotative meaning. There are layers of linguistic analysis. There is a way you use language in a way that is not ordinary. That is what we are talking about in creative writing. Then we have the language of prose. Listen and listen good. We have the forms of prose. We have the language of prose. By the time somebody says, write a fiction for me, fiction is an untrue story. Maybe you are writing a fable. Maybe you are writing folk tale. All these things, they teach moral. They perform the didactic work of literature. So you can write work in literature, maybe prose form of literature, to teach people moral. Wọ́n sọ pé kí ló kọ́ wa ò kí ní ìtàn yẹn kọ́ wa ò kọ́ wa ká má máa parọ́ ó kọ́ wa ká má máa jalè ìyá àfẹ́ mímọ́ o ìyá kíní kan mọ̀ o nígbà tó bá ṣe ìyá ìwé mímọ́ o àbí ìyá ìwé àbí kí ló kọ́ ẹ kọ́ wa ká má máa ṣe ojú kòkòrò. Listen and listen good. Whenever you write, whenever you pick your pen to write, you want to inform, you want to educate. Nǹkan tí creative writing ṣe nìyẹn o. To inform, to educate. Are you listening to me? To educate, to stimulate people's consciousness. Are you listening to me? So when you talk about prose form of literature, we are talking of folk tale, fable. You want to use it to what? To entertain, By the time you package information in animals, that is fable. That is folk tale. Example of a fable is Animal Farm. Are you listening to me? Animal what? Animal Farm by George Orwell and many others. So if you are not reading, you will not be able to write. Then prose is written in chapters. Poetry is written in lines and stanza. Prose is written in chapters. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, and on like that, depending on the length. On the contrary, when you write drama, drama is written in acts and scene. Drama is meant to be acted on the stage. Drama is meant to be acted on the stage at one scene one. Light out ma lo. Wọ́n máa gbé ẹlòmíì wá. The language of drama is conversational. The language of drama is conversational. Is ìtàkùrọ̀sọ láàrin àwọn èèyàn méjì tàbí mẹ́ta lórí stage. Is dialogical. Are you listening to me? Then, ó dẹ̀ ní gesticulations nínú. Gbogbo bí proprietor ṣe náwó sí yẹn, wọ́n gesticulate. So, drama, you must put action into it. It must be interesting. So, even when you are writing your own, you must write it in such a way that you package your information in characters. There will be characters that will be very gentle. We call some characters, they are static characters. They don't change. You call some characters flat characters, round characters. They change. Their behaviors change. So you package your ideas in characters. Like Okonko Oberika in Things Fall Apart happens to be the hero in that book. And of course, he was not a gentleman. Unoka, the father of Okonko, was an indolent person. So you can package your information in the type of characters you raise for your audience to read in your work. So all these things, they are very, very important. That's why you talk about minor characters, major characters, heroes. When the hero is a male, hero is a male, heroine is a female. Hero and heroine, you call them protagonists. Everyone say protagonist. Protagonist, the hero or the heroine. Why the antagonist is the person that is looking for the downfall of the hero. The antagonist is also known as the villain or antagonist. So we have different characters when you are writing maybe drama or even prose. And you must know how to package whatever your information in your characters. The character whose the entire story revolves around is called the hero. At times, maybe you want to create a form of laughter. You just bring in a jester, a clan. Bí bàbá Sùwé, gbà mí, àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ ẹlòmíì, wọ́n kàn lè máa sọ nǹkan kan tó serious lọ. But because you want to create relief, you want to douse the intensity of the message a little bit to create laughter, you bring in a jester. All these things, if you write up your work is not garnished with it, you are not writing. These are the tools that creative writers use to package their information. They are the tools. They are what we use to package our information. Are you listening to me? I know you are very young anyway, but then you will remember some of these things and be very thankful to your proprietor. You will be very thankful to your proprietor. Are you listening to me? So now, I told you should start from essay. We graduate from short story. You will graduate from short story to novella. You will graduate from novella to novel. By the time somebody, maybe your grandfather wants to die, you just say, I want to write, maybe in the olden days, to write a book to commemorate the life history of my grandfather. You are doing creative writing. You just interview him. Papa, how did you spend your youthful age? How was your early education? After early education, where did you go for your primary school, your secondary school? Give me information about your marriage, your career life. Before you know it, you write, you publish to commemorate the maybe 80th birthday of your grandfather. People will say, wow, that is creative writing. And let me tell you, people hire people to ghostwrite. Today, creative writing is an aspect where some people have built their careers and they are making millions. They are writing, they are making millions in dollars and other foreign currencies. So you don't joke with what we are telling you. Somebody wants to write history of a community. You start from where the people came from. Their culture, their history, the people as at that time, their occupation as at that time, their culture, what they do. You present it paragraph by paragraph. You must be able to pin down your information into units, breakable units. Then, when you talk about storyline, every literary work, drama or prose, we always have what we call prose. Prose, not prose, plot. Plot, rather. Plot is the sequential arrangement of a story. Your plot must not be disjointed. It must be interconnected from the beginning to the end. And in a story, we have what we call the climax. Climax, níbi tí story yẹn tó ti high jù, ibi tí information yẹn tó ti high jù, ibi tí nǹkan ti tense, ibi tí nǹkan ti lágbára, ó máa níbi kan láàrin story yẹn tó máa jẹ́ climax. Bóyá bàbá kan nígbà tí ó bí ọmọ, bóyá nígbà tí ó bí ọmọ yẹn, ó fẹ́ try láti train ọmọ yẹn ò gbọ́ràn sí lẹ́nu, ó ń jalè, wọ́n arrest ẹ̀. Climax nìyẹn. Bóyá ní other chapter, bóyá wọ́n wá wàásù sí ọmọ yẹn, bóyá ẹnìkan dáràn sí lọ́rùn, Ọlọ́run ṣàgbá, at the end of the day, ọmọ yẹn wá change. Kí wá ní resolution? Eventually, ọmọ yẹn wá padà wá di the best lawyer in the society. That is the resolution. Ibi tí story yẹn tó fẹnu gúnlẹ̀ sí. So, tí òkun tó bá hó yaya, ó gbúdọ̀ ṣe lálá tó rókè, ó gbúdọ̀ ṣe kíni, ó gbúdọ̀ bọ́n. You must understand all these philosophies. These are hidden facts about writing. Hidden facts. Irrefutable facts about writing. I've told you, you must be very informative about your environment. Everything like that. Then your power of imagination. You must sharpen your imaginative ability. You must be able to imagine. Then you must be able to connect with your audience. What do these people want to hear? What will I say that will make them to be interested? All these things are very important. Then, be so natural. Be so natural. Don't copy. Don't just go and imitate another person's style, person's way of talking. Everybody has a unique way of talking. Everybody has a unique way of writing. But you just have to read different people to polish the original way God created you to write. Are you listening to me? If you are a copycat, you will not last in the writing and creative industry. You will not last. Such people will fizzle away. But then, if you are somebody that you maintain your inborn natural ability and you take yourself, you put yourself under tutorship, under mentorship, under training, you will be able to manage that gift in you. Then another thing that will garnish your writing ability, you can start in a small way. Pen club, writers club, young writers association, association of young authors. You can join on a gradual note. Take courses on writing skill, on creative writing. Take courses on them. Then begin to graduate. Then be very familiar with proverbs. Hello? Be very familiar with proverbs, with idioms. All these things, they are the things that writers use. The use of literary devices. You must know what personification is. You must know what metaphor is, what simile is, what hyperbole is, what euphemism is. Everything, you must know them. A creative writer must read a lot of other writers' work across various genres and culture. You may draw inspiration from there. You must be able to draw inspiration from other people. Then you practice the act of writing. It's a gradual process. You practice it. First, write about my father, about my mother, about a market day in my area, about my country. Before you know it, maybe you are writing 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs. You'll be writing 4 pages, 5 pages. You can now begin to say, okay, my country, I want to write about my country. Maybe you now want to talk about the tribes in Nigeria, the political system in Nigeria, the cultures in Nigeria. Then you'll be dividing it into paragraph by paragraphs. So that is how you will be able to develop your writing ability. Creative writing, to be a creative writer, you must not be afraid of putting pen to paper. If you can conquer the fear, I can tell you the world is already at your feet. If you can conquer the fear, start small. Tell your neighbor, say start small. Yes. You can start with 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, a page, 2 pages, 5 pages. He committed abomination. We call it patricide and incest. So if you don't know, you will not even know if I am reading tragedy or comedy. Do I want to write tragedy or comedy? Do I want to write tragi-comedy? Tragi-comedy starts sorrowfully and ends happily. Do I want to write a romantic play? It's talking about love. Do I want to write about my environment? That is what we call eco-literature. Ecology and your environment. Eco-literature. Is that what I want to write? So all these things, they are very, very much important. So I believe after today's class, I must have spoken to a generation of young children who will be ready to replace great writers in the nearest future. Long live Shining Star and Royal College. Long live everyone here present. Thank you very much, and God bless you.